Hello and welcome back to Film Smart. In this episode, we're going to review Captain America Civil War. You know how these go. We go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to discuss some of our favorite characters, ones that caught our attention the most. We're going to start off by saying I think we both are in agreement this is a very good movie, and it's better than the last movie of two superheroes fighting each other, I think.
Yep,
you
that
can
one.
Figure out which one that is.
Yep, not hard to top.
so I want to actually start off, before we get through all of our favorite characters, I have to say, Robert Downey Jr. really, I think, acted the crap out of this movie. I really think he gave one of his best performances as Iron Man, as Tony Stark, in years. I mean, he's always been great, but there's some standout ones. Iron Man, I thought he was great. Iron Man 3, yeah, I know people don't love that movie, but he was excellent.
He was really good in there, yeah.
And then this one, I think, is 3 that really, his performances really stand out. So I just want to say, by going through all of the emotion he goes through, and that's, I mean, it's a perfect segue, and we're gonna have to discuss some spoilers. Winter Soldier killed his parents.
Yeah, I think you predicted that, right? Like
as soon as as soon as Winter Soldier shot the car and it ran to the tree, I was like, oh, I bet those are Tony's. Actually, before that happened, I was like, I bet those are Tony's parents. I just had a feeling. So let's just discuss who would you say is your favorite? Say your top 3 in this movie. They don't have to be Avengers necessarily, because like Black Panther and Spider-Man aren't Avengers yet, but they are going to be, obviously.
I'd probably have to say Black Panther. I actually really like Black Widow in this one. For some reason, I really liked her. And I actually really liked what they did with Scarlet Witch. I thought, the whole transition from her being like okay to being like not trusted by anybody, because like they thought she was crazy, and they didn't really reveal how they felt about her until that whole incident happened, and they tried to trap her in the house. And Vision, they knew he was like the only one that could hold her, but then even she overcame him. Yeah. So she really she let them know, I do what I want. Yeah. I was letting you keep me in that house.
I think they're really setting up that she's unstable, because in the comics she's crazy and forms these fake kids, and she kills a bunch of the Avengers. Goes on a crazy rampage. So
maybe she'll take out Thanos. She'll be the one, or she'll turn with him.
We'll see. I think my top 3 would be Black Panther, Iron Man, and Falcon. I really enjoyed
Falcon was good.
Very good. He was very good. And I want to say I love Spider-Man too. I don't know if I would say I don't know if there was enough of him for me to say he was my favorite or in the top 3, but I really enjoyed Spider-Man. I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man Homecoming and seeing when they bring Tony Stark into that movie, see how he fits into that fold. I think they cast Zendaya and some other actresses.
Really? Wow. Zendaya. What is she playing?
They haven't said any of their names, but
that's pretty cool.
Diverse cast. Tony Revolori from Dope and Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, so they got a lot of different kids joining this. But Spider-Man was great. I really liked it. I'm excited for the future. But I thought Falcon was great. I mean, he was great in Winter Soldier. And
but this time he was more of a character himself.
Oh, and this Ant-Man. You know what? I got to switch out one of these characters.
Giant Man,
Giant Man, all of that. I loved him. He was hilarious. He kind of worked in Civil War for me more than he did in his own movie last year, which is weird. I don't know how to explain it. He was just something about the comedy clicked for me a little bit more. But I really enjoyed him in this movie. I loved lines like "I'm your conscience." We haven't talked in a while.
Oh yeah.
Tony Stark's suit.
Who's talking? When he said that.
And Black Panther. I mean, T'Challa was great. I mean,
his motives.
Yeah, he was. I feel in many ways that this movie is both a Captain America, an Iron Man, a Winter Soldier, and a Black Panther movie. I feel like it's sort of all 4 of their movies, and then everybody else is just in their life. And I feel like it's, because you have Black Panther's father gets killed, Winter Soldier's being sort of, what's the word? Somebody's pretending to be him, or, and then you have Iron Man dealing with not only the accords and the blame that he feels after that woman talks to him at the beginning, and Pepper has left him, or they're broken up, and
he had a lot going on.
That's why I said this movie is sort of depressing, because I felt so bad for Tony. I was like, so many things are going wrong. Ultron was completely his fault. Pepper's leaving him. That woman blames him for that. She wasn't even blaming him for Ultron. She was blaming him for the fact that they just dropped a city and everything, like the fact that they just let a lot of people die. So he has a lot weighing on his back now. And I don't know how he's gonna. I remember he had panic attacks in Iron Man 3. Now he's just gonna feel guilt. So I don't know how he deals with that. But Captain America, he was also sort of he was unyielding, and I think in the way he dealt with the Accords, which was interesting. There was no compromise with him.
With Captain America?
Yeah, it seemed like
I think that's like one of his flaws. People say he doesn't have any flaws, but one of his flaws is that he thinks, since he's been right and he's always done the right thing so long, I think he doesn't see, like, he sees black and white. He doesn't see any gray. So when he chooses one side, he really feels like it has to be that way or it's no way. So I think,
yeah. The thing is, I don't agree with Iron Man or Captain America. I see both sides. They're obviously, when you see Scarlet Witch throw crossbones into that building in Lagos, there needs to be some sort of accountability. You can't just be throwing people into buildings, because you can say, oh, many more people would have died. That is true, but she technically killed all of those people by putting him right in that building instead of throwing him in the air.
That's such a tough situation.
So there needs to be some accountability, but the UN can't have complete control, because then there's corruption and they're only putting them with people that they care about. I mean, you could leave
the motives, they'll have.
So that's why it's dangerous both ways. But neither side in my opinion, is right. But yeah, there were some characters that were unyielding. Captain America was unyielding. I thought War Machine was completely unyielding. He was like, no, we need accountability. He was against him the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he didn't even have a thought to turn against him.
Even after he got injured.
It wasn't even personal. I realized that, like, for most of the thing, it wasn't because they didn't like each other. They were like, no, it has to be done. And then some people were like, no, it doesn't need to be done. So I thought that was interesting that, when they were fighting, now that kind of justifies why they were fighting nicely in a way, because they realized like things needed to be done in order for the world not to completely hate all of them eventually, because they have killed a lot of people and they need to be held accountable. But yeah, I don't know. I just found the whole thing interesting.
And it felt genuine at the end when War Machine was talking with Tony.
Oh, that was sad. Just when seeing him not be able to walk.
Yeah, and he was talking. He's like, none of it. I wouldn't change a thing. Nothing. I wouldn't change anything. I feel the same exact way.
Soldier at heart.
So I really enjoyed that. And I liked the idea of, it's all fun and games. Giant Man, Spider-Man swinging around, and then Vision accidentally shoots War Machine in the chest.
I thought that was because when something happens to the hero, like when we saw the victims, we knew people died. You don't care. And then when something happens to a character and they stick around after, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I think it's actually almost made a little bit more powerful by the message of the movie is almost made more powerful by keeping him alive. Because again, I'm going back to the line of, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't change anything. I feel exactly the same as I did before. I think there's sort of something interesting about that. Some people, I think, could have reasons for them wanting to feeling the way they do need to be set up a little better. Like, I don't know why Hawkeye helped really set up why he felt the way he did.
Yeah, why he helped them, or
like he said he was in retirement. I was like, okay, he's obviously going to be brought out of retirement. There's no reason for him to be
in retirement.
Yeah, whatever. And then, he never really explained why I'm on Cap's side. So it's just kind of like, and Ant-Man,
because they needed more team members.
Ant-Man, they never claimed why either. That was sort of weird, but I don't know. It was just interesting. I can deal with it. It's whatever. You can't go through every character's motives all the time. Sometimes characters just feel a certain way for the plot. And then some characters like Black Panther, he said it early on in the movie. He said he agreed with the Sokovia Accords because his dad was working for it. But also part of him was sort of going against Winter Soldier and sort of a vindictiveness.
I loved when he came to that resolution at the end and kind of taught the whole lesson of the movie.
That was such a great line.
Yeah, you just can't let like vengeance consume you.
Yeah, he said vengeance is consuming you. It's consuming them. I can't let it consume me anymore. And then I love when he says, when the guy's like,
to the dead or something.
I need to. I'll face the dead or something. He's like, the living are not.
I'm not done with you. Yeah. Oh, that was such a good line. That was great. Oh dear God.
And let's just go real quick. And a great thing about the movie, I think the revelation that Winter Soldier killed Tony's parents and Tony finding it out. That's when RDJ really acted the crap out of this movie. Is when he just turns over to Captain America. And he's like, "Don't BS me." And then he just hits him, and then the whole fight. I mean, there's so much emotion in that there isn't when, and not to rat on the movie, but when Batman and Superman are fighting, there's just no emotion. These characters have no relationship. We don't. But Iron Man, we've been watching for 8 years, and we've been seeing them on screen together for 4. So seeing them fight it out was it was hard. But seeing him go after, because even though Iron Man and all of them have found out with the Helmut Zemo that they've been played, and that all of this has just been set up,
There's
he
still
has
real
the
feeling.
reaction that anybody would have. You killed my mom and my dad.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to kill you.
Dang, yeah, he didn't really set them up. He just revealed true things.
Yeah.
He was like, the feelings were just, they hadn't been manifested yet.
Because I love the line when Captain's like, he didn't know what he was doing. He was brainwashed. And just kind of like, I don't care. He killed my mom. Like, that's exactly how a lot of people would react. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care if he killed my mom. I'm in an Iron Man suit. He's a super soldier. He's right there. I'm going to kick his butt. Like, there's no discussion. And I like how I like the way they introduced the fact that Winter Soldier and Captain America could beat Iron Man is the fact that he can't beat them in hand-to-hand combat. Because we think, Iron Man could easily destroy them. He just flies up and shoots a missile at them. But since I got the feeling that Iron Man wanted to fight them. Like, he really wanted to kill Winter Soldier in his hands. So
he couldn't do it.
And he couldn't do that.
And then he told them to memorize it, and I was like,
countermeasures.
What a cheater.
But I got the feeling is he was going to do anything. He really wanted to kill them with his hands.
I remember in the movie, I thought, did Captain America just kill him? I thought he ripped out the car. I was like, oh my gosh.
But see, the reason I thought, a lot of people were saying they thought he killed him when he stabbed him in the chest with the shield.
Yeah, I thought he ripped it out. I was like.
But then I realized that thing,
it isn't actually, chest,
because after Iron Man 3, he got the shrapnel out of his chest, so that thing is not keeping him alive like it was in the other movies. So it's a little, I don't know why they did that. But
yeah, they showed it. It looked like he acted like he was dying too. Yeah. He went.
Because I love that he really thought Captain America was going to kill him because you saw the look in his face. Again, it's great acting. Look in his face, and he's about to shoot him with his repulsors, but then it stabs him right in the chest. And
so he's just depowering the suit. Yeah.
And I was just thinking about, I love the scene when he's like, "You don't deserve that shield. My father made that shield. You put shame on it."
And then he just puts it down.
Yeah. There's so much power in those scenes.
And he carried that shield everywhere.
Yeah.
And
you could just tell
what he's willing to do for Bucky.
And disappointed. Again, it just felt so bad for Tony. Everything was just the whole world is falling apart with him, and a lot of it he has to blame on himself. But I feel bad for him just as a human. I feel terrible for him.
Dang.
Black Panther, I feel terrible for him. What happened to his father?
Yeah, that was a really sad scene when he had his father's body, or when he was jumping as it was exploding.
Yeah. So, what are some things that you didn't care for in this movie?
I didn't really care for Spider-Man.
Really?
With or without him, I didn't really. I mean, I thought he was he was like. He was a interesting change of pace for the movie, and I think it was interesting to see somebody closer to our age interacting with heroes in like.
Yeah, because it's been like
the 40s and 100s.
Like Captain America. Like if we were.
Yeah, if we were a superhero. So I guess it makes it more relatable, but I mean, I don't care to relate to them. But I'm looking up to them. But
it's interesting, though. It's a new dynamic, I think, that we've seen a lot in the X-Men movies or things.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen it all in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's sort of interesting. His entrance into the movie sort of doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
like, why are you taking a 16-year-old over to Germany? Because also, remember, Daredevil and Jessica Jones, all of these shows exist in the same world. So bringing like somebody like Daredevil or Luke Cage would have made way more sense. Because they're adults. They've established themselves longer. It's just interesting, but
yeah.
But I get it. They got to bring Spider-Man in. It was part of a deal. Whatever. I'm not.
He's a bigger character.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna argue he's a bigger character. But it would have been nice to see one of the Netflix characters. I would like to see their shows sort of somewhat get impacted by that. Like, you guys need to get signed too. Just because you're on the street doesn't mean.
Maybe we'll have the stack of papers somewhere laying for all of them.
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is dealing with it right now. So. I mean,
I forgot that was even still running.
If Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is dealing with it, why not the Netflix shows? One thing sometimes the CGI looked a little weird.
Spider-Man's suit.
Yeah.
Iron Man. There's so many movies. In the first movie, they had it all right.
It was very
weird.
But
lately, his head has looked a little weird.
But it's
shifty.
out of the suit. I don't know how to explain it. But
it's like.
I think it's because they're spending so much money on everybody that they can't.
And then the fact that that whole airport scene was all CGI. The whole airport was. None of it was real. Which I thought was amazing. I was like, wow.
The airport scene was great.
I couldn't even tell.
But other than Spider-Man at times. Spider-Man, you could like...
you knew his suit, yeah. There wasn't one moment where I thought he had a suit on.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever did he?
I guess when he took his mask off a little bit. But
yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know. But
they said Black Panther's suit was CGI.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell. That was good CGI.
I mean, he had a suit on, but they added effects
Yeah.
to it. He like his stunt double would have a suit on.
The Spider-Man.
I don't remember seeing any set videos or
of
photos
Spider-Man.
of Spider-Man, so I don't know if that's because they kept it real in. I don't know how they could keep that under wraps.
And it's not like it mattered if we knew he was in the movie.
Yeah, we knew he was in the movie.
Did we?
We knew he was
We knew he was in the movie. It's not like
knew he would be in it.
the suit
sometime last
reveal.
summer.
Then it's not like there's that big of changes between Spider-Man suits. They all look essentially the same.
Yeah.
So,
But that was one thing, and then sometime the movie was a little long. I thought.
yeah.
I have to say the second viewing pace was a little much better. I thought it moved faster. I think this is a movie that everybody should watch more than once, because I think it moves a little faster. Your opinion of it might even be better if you watch it twice.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little long at some points. But really, other than that, I don't really have many complaints. I thought for the most part it was just really a great addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I remember the only thing that I had negative was Spider-Man because he just threw me off a little bit when I was watching it. I don't remember having any other issues.
When he has his own movie and Tony's in it, I think it'll fit better. But right now it was a little strange.
I'm just hoping that they really can do something that makes him interesting again. Because I remember I loved him when it was Tobey Maguire, and I'm just over it. Because I'm just like,
Spider-Man 2 is such. Well,
even the Amazing Spider-Man, I really did like that movie, but then again, I was like,
I always thought it was fine.
No, it was another formula. Like it was just, I was like, this is another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, we'll see how this works. Now I think now that he has the whole MCU to play around in now, I think that can bring some fun to us. Because really,
I hope they don't start like getting the issue where nobody has their own movie anymore.
Well, now people are going to be sharing movies all the time. Like I'm hearing rumors that Winter Soldier is going to be a big part of Black Panther, and I mean it's kind of hard because
I know it's hard not to, but because that happens. I think they are trying to make it like the comic books, and in the comics, other characters pop up all the time, and it's no big deal.
Well, because you also have to say, well, if there's this world-ending incident, why didn't some other guy show up? I mean, there's like a billion characters, and nobody called up Iron Man when crap was going down in Harlem. It's a little weird that nobody's saying anything. But that's why you make the incidents smaller. If it's like a smaller scale thing.
If it's just in Wakanda or something.
Yeah, like why is Thor the Dark World? Ending of the universe?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, so not even one other Avenger could stop what they were doing when the universe was ending.
He didn't think to call
no matter what they were doing, the universe was more important. No matter what they were doing.
Yeah, there's nothing more important than stopping the universe from ending.
That was the oddest. What an awful movie.
I don't know why they did that. That was really stupid. But
and
like the president.
Thor, they only mentioned him once, right, in the movie?
Yeah, they mentioned him in Hulk at one point.
Where is he?
They're off in space. I think because Thor Ragnarok is going to be Hulk and Thor like a buddy movie.
How did
off in space?
Where did they go? Like
at the end of Avengers, Hulk is like on a.
He goes away on that spaceship because he's kind of isn't he like conscious as the Hulk?
Yeah.
Like he was able to control himself, and then
he was aware, I suppose you could say. So.
Where did Thor go? Was he with him?
I don't know where Thor went. I guess we're supposed to assume Hulk went off somewhere. Because Hulk can't take that to space, and then they just met up or something. I don't know. They'll explain it in Ragnarok, but
that's weird.
They're gone, so I can deal with that because I'm like, they're in another realm or whatever. I can deal with that. But I do like that line though. He's like, if I misplaced 2 nukes, then I would be in big trouble because like, where are Thor and Banner? Like, you just don't know where these people are.
That's the thing. Yeah, they could. Thor, I would just be like, well, he's probably at his home. He doesn't live here. And Jane, they're over. They broke up or whatever.
Thank goodness, because her character didn't add anything to the franchise.
Yeah. Which is going to be weird when it's just him now.
Well, now is...
Like, he has a human connection to come back.
Now his love interest will be her name, Valkyrie, and it's played by Tessa Thompson, who's the love interest in Creed.
Valkyrie's in it.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. And then one other complaint I have about the movie is just Vision in terms of... Vision could really do anything in that battle, but he didn't.
Yeah, it's like he's kind of still got Ultron.
So I don't know, it was a little weird.
He has an Infinity Stone, and he didn't really seem to do it.
Maybe he knew. Maybe I can deal with it because he saw this sort of as a scrimmage, and he's like, he could kill anybody.
Which is what I hate. Like it's like when Superman fights somebody and he keeps it going, and I'm like, and a lot of things happen. I'm like, you could have just killed him or stopped him.
That's away. So I can deal with it. I'm like, okay, it's a scrimmage because nobody really got hurt until War Machine got shot out of the sky on accident.
And Vision, how is he able to like go through people without them being affected at all though?
I think I don't know.
Because I was like, wait, and like every other thing ever, when somebody goes through them, they're affected. Mm-hmm. But then when Vision does it,
I guess it's because he's like, he almost doesn't exist when he does it.
That's just.
It's convenient, yes.
Yeah, I was like that.
But I can deal with it. I'm like, oh, it's extra comic booky, whatever. But there's a difference. The airport fight is a scrimmage, but the fight where Iron Man is fighting Winter Soldier and Captain America, he's out to kill Winter Soldier. I think that's the difference. Is like if Vision had been involved in that fight, it might have been a fight to the death, because that was totally a fight to the death. Mm-hmm. Iron Man was going to murder Winter Soldier, and if he had to, he'd kill Captain America if he was in his way. But I don't know. The whole fight, I think he sort of saw it as everybody did as a scrimmage, but then they were still trying to kill each other.
Yeah, that was like, it was. They weren't trying to kill each other, but at the same time, it just depended on the character.
It's like when War Machine pulled out that electric thing. Remember?
Yeah.
That?
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
It's not gonna kill you, but it's gonna hurt. I think it's gonna kill him.
Yeah, I was like, that looked like that would kill anybody.
But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he could have been like, he could have used his gun. But which I wonder, I was like, why don't they shoot Captain America more often?
That's why, because he wasn't. Well, because those bullets will go through. Remember, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier shot him several times.
Yeah.
So I guess War Machine. Because I was thinking War Machine didn't use his bullets at all. Because that's the big cool part of his son.
Yeah.
He doesn't have repulsor rays or anything. So I was like, what else is he here to do? He's here to shoot him, Iron Man.
I wonder why doesn't he have that? Just so Tony can just be the one that has it.
Yeah, I guess to make.
And does he just have a jetpack instead to fly?
No, he has the jet boots and stuff. Like it's boots in his back, just like Iron Man now. Because Iron Man doesn't. I know you've ever noticed Iron Man doesn't have to do this anymore with his hands, where he puts his hands on his waist.
That was kind of like a thing for him though. It looked cool because everybody would used to go.
Yeah, but now with after the Avengers, he just has it on his back. Because it makes him look a little bit more heroic when he's in the air instead of going. Because I mean that is his thing, but like when he's in the air, it's kind of cool to just
be floating.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they made a conscious decision to change that. But yeah, so this movie, I think it's another great addition. A lot of great characters, so much more we could say, but what would you rate this movie? What are your final thoughts on what would you rate it?
I thought it was good. I think there could have been more. There could have been a bigger change in the universe afterwards for what happened, but I do think it was still good. I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
I'm leaning between like an 8.5 and a 9. I'm somewhere in there. See, even though this movie doesn't feel like it affected the universe that much, I think it did affect it a lot. And what I mean by that is that the team is in tatters. I mean, I feel like it's destroyed.
I felt like it wasn't even the same, even in Age of Ultron. Like when they were fighting, I was like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like after the Avengers, even it just, I don't know. After Captain America, Winter Soldier kind of changed everything in a way.
Yeah, it did. That was a game.
Changed the universe.
This is a game changer movie, but it's in a different way. Mm-hmm. Because I think the team, there's no resolution. The team,
that's why. Yeah,
still split.
I think that might be why I feel a little bit bitter, because I was like, they never came back together. And I think when you don't see that, sometimes it just comes off as like, oh.
And that's the thing. They need to come back together because there's no standalone movie
for any of them
or Avengers movie before Infinity War. There's no Captain America 4. There's no Iron Man 4.
Well, we'll hear about them.
There's
Black
Thor
Panther.
Ragnarok, but that's with Hulk, and that's in another realm. So it has nothing to do with
them. That's going to be awesome.
Doctor Strange has nothing to do with them. Iron Man's going to be in Spider-Man, but again, that has nothing to do with the Avengers, really. Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, those are all sort of movies that are with character like Ant-Man and Black Panther, even though they were big parts of this movie. Well, not Ant-Man, but Black Panther, they were parts of this movie. They weren't big enough parts of like there's no direct relation with Iron Man and Captain America or Falcon and War Machine or Black Widow and whoever or Scarlet Witch to be on the same team or different teams. So they're going to have to somehow fix this by Infinity War Part 1. I don't know how they're going to fix it because they got a lot to do with those movies. Apparently Part 1, I'm hearing, is going to take place on Earth, and Part 2 is going to be in the cosmos. But
that doesn't sound like it's going to be good.
I'm sure it'll probably be good. The directors...
It just sounds like there's a lot trying to happen.
They got a lot of balance. Because by then they'll have Doctor Strange.
I hate part movies.
And Captain Marvel will be introduced, so those will be new characters. They're probably going to bring in the Netflix characters at some way, and even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm sure, are all sort of going to be involved, I think. in some capacity in
It
both
is.
of those movies.
I don't know why, but like smaller movies sound more exciting to me now. I feel like I'm
Like Winter Soldier.
yeah. Like
Because
those,
Winter Soldier was a smaller movie, but huge implications.
yeah, I think those just sound like Infinity War. I just don't care. Like if it's gonna be every character together, I'm like, I don't
Oh
really
yeah, because
care.
Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be involved in that too.
Yeah, I'm like, what is everybody gonna do? It's like, it just doesn't
I
seem
don't
like.
know how. I think Thanos might bring back some dead villains or something. Yeah, some dead villains. But yeah, I don't know how exactly they're going to work this out. But we'll see. But overall, I like the movie a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I like where it's. Well, it's hard to say I like, but where they're leaving it off. We'll see where it goes. But I'm really interested for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. As always, stay film smart.